Hello my friends, happy National Donut Day. Today I'm going to show you a super fun recipe that you get to do at home so that you can make your own donuts. How does that sound? Delicious, right? National Donut Day is one of my favorite days, and although we can't all be together to celebrate it, I thought we'd get to do something extra special at home. So I'm going to show you this recipe. It's actually a 2-day recipe, but I'm going to speed everything up for you in one video. That way you'll have all the information you need to make your own donuts at home. Very exciting. I've listed above all the ingredients that you'll need, so you'll want to gather everything in advance. First, you're going to make a dough, then you're going to have to let that dough rise for 2 hours. Once that dough has risen after the 2-hour time is up, you're going to pop it in your refrigerator for 12 hours. I know that sounds like a really long time, so what you'll do is you'll do it right before you go to bed, so when you wake up in the morning, it's one of the first things you'll get to do. Sound good? I'm getting hungry already just thinking about it. After the 12 hours is up, you're gonna mold your donuts and then pop them in the oven. We're gonna bake them instead of frying. And then after that, you get to decorate them. So much fun. First things first though, we need to wash our hands. So let's all get ready to wash our hands, and then we'll start learning how we're gonna make donuts. Are you ready? I am. Let's go. One of the first things you'll want to do is get a really big bowl. So I have this nice glass bowl here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting all of my dry ingredients together in this bowl. So you'll want to find a bowl that's big enough in size that you'll be able to mold your dough into it. That's one of the most important steps. The first ingredient I'm putting into my bowl is flour. So here I have measured out 3 3/4 cups of flour. The next ingredient I'm adding is 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to put the salt on the right side of my bowl, because next I'm going to measure out the yeast, and the yeast needs to go on the left side of the bowl. The next ingredient I'm adding is yeast. So this calls for 2 teaspoons of yeast. So you're actually going to put the yeast on the opposite side of the salt in order for it to activate. Now, although we have put them on 2 separate sides, we're actually going to mix this all together. So we're gonna just take our time to make sure that we can mix all the ingredients together nicely. Then after that, we're gonna start on our wet ingredients. Next, in a separate bowl, I'm going to mix together my wet ingredients. So first, I'm gonna start off with pouring in my milk. And now I'm going to add the eggs. This recipe calls for 4 eggs at room temperature. So you want to make sure that they've been out long enough before you're mixing them in. Next is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Here I'm mixing in all of my melted butter. Wet ingredient is 1/4 cup of honey. That's really sticky. So you have to sit there and let that pour out good. Now I'll just take a rubber spatula to make sure I get all that honey out of the measuring cup. Yum. Now we're going to take a whisk and whisk these ingredients together. Get everything up real good. Get those eggs cooked up. Make sure your mom and dad is helping you to get all of your ingredients together. Prepared. Can't wait for donuts! Now for the exciting part, we're going to mix our wet into our dry. And that is how we're going to get our dough to form. So once you pour all of your wet into your dry, you're going to just take a nice rubber spatula and start mixing it all together, and then we're going to create a dough. I've had to use 2 hands to hold the bowl while I've been mixing, but as you can see, we're really starting to get a dough here. Soon enough, we're gonna be letting this rise. Looks good, huh? Once your dough is nice and mixed up, we're gonna add the saran wrap to the top and get ready to let it sit out for 2 hours. Once your dough is formed and you've got that saran wrap on top, you're gonna just place a dish towel over it and let it sit out for 2 hours at room temperature. See you in a little bit. All right, it's been 2 hours since our dough has been left out to rise. And as you can see, it's taking up almost the whole bowl now. So now it's ready to go in the refrigerator for 12 hours. We'll see you tomorrow, dough. Good morning to my dough. It has spent the night in the refrigerator. And now it looks like it's all ready to be made into donuts. So what I'm going to do is I put this little cutting board out so I can have a nice surface to work on, and I'm going to pour some flour on the surface and then take the dough out of the bowl. See all these awesome little bubbles and streams here? From the video that I watched that taught me how to make these donuts, they said this is the sign of a really good dough. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pop some flour on top, and then we're going to get ready to roll it out using a rolling pin. Now that my dough is rolled out, we're going to start cutting it into donut shapes. So since this is Miss Caroline's first time making donuts, I don't have the necessary tools to cut them out. Usually they'll use a donut cutter or a scone cutter, but I'm just going to use a glass and start making donut shapes out of that. Let's see how that does. Okay, and then I'm going to go in the middle with this smaller cup. Ta-da! So after I'm cutting up my donuts, I'm moving them onto this baking sheet that's been lined with parchment paper and flour, and I'm placing my donuts on the paper, and we're gonna let them sit and rise for another half an hour before we're gonna pop them in the oven. Once you have all your donuts cut out and you have them lined on that parchment paper, you're gonna let them sit out at room temperature for about 20 to 30 minutes. You'll just wanna put a dish towel over the pan like we did with the bowl earlier and let them sit there and rise. Make sure you give all your donuts enough space so that way they can pop up a little bit. And of course, you wanna save the little donut holes too, so those will be equally as delicious. Now that we've given the donuts about 30 minutes to puff up a bit, I'm just gonna take some butter that's been melted, and we're just going to coat the tops of them just so they'll get a nice brown coloring while they're in the oven. So at this point, you want to make sure that you turn your oven on and preheat it to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and that way when we're all set with these donuts, we'll be ready to put them in the oven. Okay, now that my donuts are all brushed, they're ready to go in the oven. Mom and Dad are going to help you put your donuts in. So we're going to keep a close eye on our donuts. So they should cook from anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. You want to just keep an eye and make sure that they're getting brown. And while we're waiting for that, we're going to make the glaze. So I've got another bowl here, and I'm going to start by adding my confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. So to make the glaze, we're starting with 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. Next is 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now we're adding 3 tablespoons of milk. Once you've mixed all of your wet ingredients into your sugar, you're going to start mixing it up to make a glaze. After you've been mixing for a little while, this is what your glaze will look like. Just want to scoop the sides of the bowl to make sure you get all that sugar mixed in. Now we just need to wait for our donuts to be ready. In a smaller bowl, I've mixed the exact same ingredients, but now I'm going to add some food coloring just so I can have 2 different color frostings. What do you think is going to happen when I mix this food coloring in here? It's changing colors. Let's see what happens while I keep mixing. My timer went off and my donuts are ready. They are out of the oven and now it's time to glaze them. I'm going to start off by taking this donut and popping it right into the glaze. Boop. Let it mix around. Flip it around so we get it on both sides. Then I'm going to bring it over to this drying rack. Now I'm going to try glazing one of the strawberry donuts. So I'm going to pop it in so it's just the top. It gets a nice coating. Yum. For extra fun, I'm adding some rainbow sprinkles to the top. You have to make sure your glaze is wet while you do that. And that is it, guys. You have made yourself some delicious donuts. We've got some strawberry, and we got some glazed. Now, the real test. Let's take a bite. All right, I brought my donut outside to enjoy on this beautiful day. Let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. That's a good donut. Cheers, guys. Thanks for being along with me to make donuts. I hope you had a lot of fun and yours come out as delicious as mine. Have a great day. Happy National Donut Day.